Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new episode of Predictions with PCJ. I am your host and friend, Pop Culture Junkie, here to talk about this upcoming week. Not weekend, it's middle of the week. We're watching a live stream show. WWE Crown Jewel, live from Saudi, Jeddah, but some place over there with a lot of desert. And it's on Halloween. Why are we having a pay-per-view on Halloween of all times? So bizarre. Just, okay, why not make it on a Friday? Why does it have to be on a Thursday? This is just bizarre. But maybe they think Halloween is just a super duper awesome holiday that requires a pay-per-view. I don't know. What are we going to see on Halloween at a pay-per-view? And it has nothing to do with Halloween. It's like, this is the perfect time to have Halloween Havoc. Why not have Halloween Havoc again? I don't know. But we have Crown Jewel to look forward to. I'm not looking forward to it at all because these shows have been very predictable, very blah. Nothing happens usually. If you enjoy them, great. If you do, leave me comments and tell me why so I can try to be convinced to actually really be expecting some fun because I don't expect any fun from this show. I don't know why they do these shows. WWE is obviously just doing it for the money, which a lot of people do things for money. That's whatever, but it's very hypocritical. I don't care for the hypocrisy of, and I'm not going to get real political here. I don't get political. I don't get all religion and all that. No. We don't go into that on here, okay? I like to keep things fun and enjoyable. But just real quick, if you're going to have a company where you are promoting women being equal and you're pushing the women's revolution, you have your own pay-per-view, which we only got that one pay-per-view 2 years ago now, or so, or whatever it was, last year. That's right, it was just a year ago. Wow, it's crazy how much this happened. But if you're going to do this, all that stuff, then don't go to countries where the women are not allowed to even be in the arena, let alone compete. You had the chance a few times, I think, because we did see Sasha and Alexa fully dressed from their necks down. They couldn't expose any skin at all, which I get it, that's their culture or whatever. But then you have men competing in matches wearing Speedos. It's so bizarre. Anyways, but don't go to these places if you can't have all of your roster be participants. It's just very stupid to me. But that's my rant. I'm not going to go anymore. We all know what we're talking about, but let's just get on to the show and the predictions. But first, we got to address the big giant-ass elephant in the room, and that's the steaming pile of crap that was Monday Night Raw just last night. What the hell are they doing? Monday Night Raw was probably one of the worst shows I've seen in I don't know how long now. Terrible matches, okay? The booking was terrible. The only decent match I enjoyed was Kairi Sane against Becky Lynch. But I didn't care for the whole Kabuki Warriors have become evil heels, so they had to spit in Paige's face. I didn't even know Paige was still involved with the Kabuki Warriors, okay? Was she even ringside when they won the tag belts and defended the belts or anything like that? No, she isn't, not that I recall. And if she was, that's how forgettable Paige has become, okay? It sucks that she's injured and will possibly never wrestle ever again, but they got to find something else for her to do. If they're going to make her a manager, great, but she was like here one week, gone the next, back and forth, whatever. And I love the heel turn for Asuka and Kairi. Gives them a little edge. And I know Asuka can be a badass. I'm curious to see how, crazy, serious Kairi can take this. So I'm interested. And I love the two of them anyway. So I'm happy about that. But I just didn't understand why we needed to even do the heel turn breakup with Paige as our manager stuff. It just wasn't done well. But let's get to the main thing. Why are we being tortured by this god-awful Lana, Rusev, Lashley, cuckold storyline? What is the point of it? Why? It closed Monday Night Raw. Technically, that was the main event of the show, was getting this divorce court segment with Jerry Lawler, and we have to see Rusev and Lana argue, and Lana says, "Oh, the reason I slept with Lashley and I'm with him now is because Rusev wanted sex from me all the time." It's like, okay, and Rusev's like, "Oh, can you blame me?" It's like, well, okay, but so So Lana, you're a slut, cheating woman because your husband wanted sex with you all the time and apparently wanted to bang you everywhere, every which way. Okay, take that off to therapy and whatnot. We don't need to be tortured with this. And then of course Lashley comes out and the show ends with Rusev getting low blowed by Lashley and he's laying on the floor on the ring, and Lana and Lashley are making out like porn stars standing above him. That was the closing segment and the last thing we see from WWE for the main show, because Wednesday is NXT, which does nothing to do with Raw or SmackDown. And so Thursday on Halloween, that's the last thing we have to go on is the Lashley Lana Rusev stuff at Crown Jewel. Wait, now that's happening at Crown Jewel because Lana can't even go to the show. So we're not going to get any continuation on her part. Rusev and Lashley are on opposing teams on the Hogan versus Flair stuff, but I mean, really, how much stuff is going to happen there? Chances are the two of them are just going to brawl out to the ring, or outside the ring, and just, neither one of them is actually going to be pinned or submitted, probably. Who knows? But just, this storyline sucks. It's so desperately trying to be 1998 WWE Raw or WWF Raw, Raw is War, Jerry Springer, Vince Russo material, and they don't have a Vince Russo to write for them right now to get that shock and awe kind of storyline, and yeah, it just sucks. Okay, that was my second rant. Let's get to the predictions. Yeah. So starting off, we got a pre-show 20-man battle royal. The winner will face AJ Styles for the U.S. title later on in the show. So 20 people are participating. I'm gonna run through the list real quick. No Way Jose, Humberto Carrillo, Heath Slater, Cedric Alexander, Luke Harper, Eric Young, Drake Maverick, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Apollo Crews, Shelton Benjamin, Akira Tozawa, Tony Nese, Titus O'Neil, Brian Kendrick, Sin Cara, R-Truth, Rowan, Mojo Rawley, and Sunil Singh. Well, based on all of these names, it's probably going to be Humberto Carrillo, because that's the only one that's really been featured in the last 2 weeks, with facing Rollins last week and then AJ on this past week. So chances are they're going to have Carrillo against AJ Styles later in the show. So I'm going to go with Carrillo's going to get the win. Let's see. Then we have the 9-team tag team turmoil match for the WWE World Cup. Something we've never seen before, but we've had the Best in the World trophy that Shane won last year. We had the Greatest Royal Rumble championship belt that Braun won, but we've, again, never seen that since then. So the tag teams involved in this are the New Day of Big E and Kofi Kingston, the Viking Raiders, the current Raw champions, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, the Revival, the OC of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, and Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus the B Team. It's going to be the Viking Raiders because the Viking Raiders are still undefeated. They'll end up losing a match if they don't win, so it's going to be the Viking Raiders. Then we have Mansoor versus Cesaro. Mansoor, of course, won the 50-man Battle Royal at the last Crown Jewel or Super Showdown that was in Saudi. It's going to be Mansoor. That's the only match he's had since that previous one, except I think he was on NXT once or twice, but I don't even think he won a match there. No, he lost on NXT. He won a 50-person Battle Royal and then lost a singles match. But now he's going to face Cesaro, and I'm sure it'll be a decent match because Cesaro is amazing, but Cesaro sadly will not win. Then we have AJ Styles versus the Battle Royal winner for the U.S. title. It's going to be AJ Styles. I don't think they're going to drop the title at this point. Then we have Team Hogan, made up of Roman Reigns, Rusev, Ricochet, Shorty G, and Ali, versus Team Flair of King Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, and Drew McIntyre. It's going to be Roman Reigns. He'll probably just spear everybody. And again, I think it'll just be Rusev and Lashley. They're going to end up brawling and fighting outside, getting counted out, or they'll be counted out and just fight off into the backstage probably. Obviously, no one's going to be fighting into the audience. I doubt it. That would be kind of crazy. I don't think that's going to happen at any of these shows. But who's going to win overall? It's going to be Team Hogan. Now, I would like to see Hogan and Flair actually, afterwards get in the ring, get in each other's faces. That's about the extent, though. I don't need to see them actually fight. All right, then we have another match, which has been billed as basically, one of two main events for the match, or technically three, but we'll get to that. We have Braun Strowman against the boxer Tyson Fury. I'm going to say the bell's going to ring, and Tyson is going to throw one punch and knock Braun out and pin him. I don't even know if Tyson Fury is going to take a bump. Then we have the WWE title match of the 2010 UFC rematch. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez. Oh man, this is just... It makes me nervous thinking about this match because Cain has no business even being in the title picture. We've never seen this person wrestle, so we don't know what he is capable of or can do. After what we saw on SmackDown with how he was, it was on Raw, wasn't it? That he was delivering punches to Shelton Benjamin. That was just horrible. I don't have any faith in this person, so I'm gonna just have to tune in to see. But I'm gonna say Lesnar's gonna get the win. But it'll be by I'm going to say Velasquez will get the win, but it'll be by disqualification, and Lesnar will retain the title. I hope they don't put the belt on Velasquez. And last but not least, the match that is kind of billed third, actually, you would think would be billed up there with the WWE title. We have the Falls Count Anywhere match for the WWE Universal title, Seth Rollins versus The Fiend. And the match cannot be stopped for any reason. Well, we saw on Raw that Seth Rollins could not even beat Eric Rowan without the use of a forklift. I guess he was watching, Halftime Heat on the WWE Network from 1999 when Mankind used a forklift to trap The Rock and beat him in a last man standing match. Yeah, I don't know how Rollins is going to defeat The Fiend if he can't even beat Rowan in a Falls Count Anywhere match without using a forklift. And are they going to bring a couple of forklifts over to Saudi for them to use? I don't know. This is just so stupid because Hell in a Cell has the same stipulation rules as a Falls Count Anywhere match. There are no rules. You can use weapons, tables, chairs, ladders, steel chains, anything you want. And there must be a winner, but we didn't get a winner at Hell in a Cell, so what are they going to do here to prevent having to pin either man? What's going to happen? I'd be fine with The Fiend winning the title. I'd rather it be at a different pay-per-view, but just fine. Put the belt on The Fiend already. But are you really going to have Rollins beat The Fiend? And this is what, The Fiend's third match, technically? Really? I'm going to say there will not be a winner. There is not going to be a winner. There is not going to be a pinfall or submission. There is going to be something where both guys collide into each other with something, or they both fall from the rafters, or I don't know what they do. Something to where they just disappear. They crash through something in the staging area or those entrance stage ramp, something, and that's it. Maybe the Undertaker shows up and chokeslams both of them, and then that's it, and they just don't get up. But there's not going to be a winner. It's impossible to predict a winner for this because WWE has already shown they don't stand by their rules. So we have no clue what rule is going to get changed until the match is happening. All right, I don't have any news and rumors to share right now, just because I'm wrapping this up quickly. Didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare. Unfortunately, had some personal things happening. But yeah, I don't have any news and rumors this time, so we're going to go straight into fan questions. Remember, you can always send in fan questions to me on Twitter or Facebook. I've got my links below in the description of the video, and you can follow me on Twitter, and Facebook. And remember, during all WWE pay-per-view network live streams, I'm always live tweeting during those, so you can follow me on Twitter, and I'll be sharing my thoughts on what we're watching in the moment, and you can interact with me, send me messages, DM me, etc. So like always, I posted that I would be recording the predictions video, and if you would like to get a shout out on the video, send me questions or topics, and you'll get a shout out. So starting off, Kitten Hunter ask, which former WWE Women's Champion do you think WWE missed the ball on most? For me, it's a toss-up between Victoria and Gail Kim. I think they did a little more with Victoria, obviously, but in comparison, so I would say Gail Kim was their biggest miss. She debuted and won the women's title in that Battle Royal on Raw when she made her first debut, and then it seemed like she just floundered the rest of the time. They didn't know what to do with her. They didn't have any plans. And this is still, sadly, back when it was more important to put the girls in a pudding match or bra and panty matches or stuff like that. It was more TNA than actual wrestling. And you had women that could really wrestle at that time. We saw what Gail Kim was able to do when she went to TNA. And I think she's one of the biggest misses that WWE ever had. They had her in their company. They could have done so much and really didn't. Spaced Out asks, Crown Jewel has a turmoil tag match. Previous shows had Best in the World Cup, Greatest Royal Rumble. What type of match will the next Saudi show have? I'm predicting they're probably going to end up having every kind of stipulation match that used to be exclusive to pay-per-views. So we're not too far from them either having a War Games or a Elimination Chamber. Marcus Ramirez, Pushfire Barry, King of the Ring 98 Hell in a Cell, No Mercy 2002 Hell in a Cell, or Bad Blood 1997 Hell in a Cell. I'm going to push Bad Blood 1997 because that's still to me the greatest Hell in a Cell match, period. I'm going to fire the 98 Hell in a Cell, and I'll bury No Mercy, Brock versus Taker. I thought that was an amazing match, but yeah. Queen of the Ring, which wrestler would you dress up as for Halloween? I think the best one I could probably pull off would be Kevin Owens. I could pull that one off. Rage in the Cage, if Lashley wins the Universal title, will we see a live sex celebration with Lana on Raw? Oh, everything about that sentence is terrible, so please don't ever come true. Lashley winning a title alone, but you know what? Why not? I'm not going to put it past Vince to be like, wait, we did this in 2006 with Edge and Lita. Let's do it. I love it. It's such good shit. That's exactly what will happen. So, actually, I'm going to blame you, Rage in the Cage, if that happens, and WWE, I know people from WWE are listening to this predictions video, so there you go. Rage in the Cage, we blame you, because now they're going to hear it, and they're going to be passing it on to Vince by tomorrow. Allison Chamber, what kind of propaganda video will we see aired during Crown Jewel to insinuate that they are a progressive nation? Oh, wow. So, yeah, okay, I don't get political, I don't get religion, all this stuff, I don't do all that on here usually, but I think I know what she's referring to. I already brought that up at the beginning, talking about, if you're going to be such a progressive company with the whole women's evolution, then you should not be going to places where your women wrestlers, employees are not permitted. Remember the first ever, was it called Crown Jewel? Oh yeah, first ever Crown Jewel show, whatever they called it. I forget now. I'm not, this is how much I don't care about these shows. But the first one, I remember they did a video during the show where they were doing, it's typical when they go to other countries, they show a highlight reel of, special locations and sightseeing and such. But they mention about how, we recently allowed women to drive now. It's like, okay, they interviewed like one woman saying, oh yes, we allowed her to drive. Or it's like, okay, yeah, so will we see something like that? Probably. Of course, we're going to see something that they're going to, make some kind of thing about saying like, oh, yes, we now allow them to do this. Very good. After you leave, we will take that away, but whatever, So pretty sure we're going to see something like that is just going to be eye-rolling, but yeah. All right, everybody, thanks so much for the questions. I appreciate it. Keep in mind, again, I will be posting my spoiler recap and results video for Crown Jewel sometime in the evening of Halloween, possibly not until the next morning, actually, because I might be busy with Halloween activities. So we'll be doing a video on Crown Jewel that evening or into the morning, into the next day. And you can also follow me on Twitter, because I will be posting my tweets during the show, sharing with y'all whatever thoughts pop in my head from the show that they put on for us. Again, I'm just not wowed by what they've done lately, especially on Raw and SmackDown. Looking forward to NXT, of course, and I have been enjoying AEW. For those of you that have asked me about it, I enjoy that too. All right, guys, gals, thanks so much for listening and tuning in. I hope you enjoy the show, and if you do, make sure you leave me comments and let me know what your thoughts are. Share with me in the comment section your predictions. What do you think is going to happen at this show? Anything great, fun, nothing? Let me know. Okay, everybody, I'm wrapping this up. I'll see y'all later. This is PCJ, the Pop Culture Junkie, signing out.